back in today with another video on the channel, and today I'll be doing my Crunchyroll anime of the year voting, which I do pretty much every year. I've done a video similar to this a few months ago, just a tier list with my favourite anime, well, with all the anime I watched that came out in 2025. So I'll link that up above if you guys did want to watch it. Probably a bit more comprehensive than what this video would be, but yeah, going into this, my expectations. Usually with these, it's, for me, it kind of feels like Crunchyroll very much has its favourites. It has the anime it wants to kind of market and advertise. That is in a lot of categories. Last year, I think there was maybe like 10 anime overall in all of the categories. It really felt like there wasn't too much variety, so I'd probably expect more of the same this year. Haven't actually seen any of the nominees or nominations or anything, but some of the anime I'm hoping to see here are both of Tatsuki Fujimoto's works. I think both the Reze movie and was it 19 through 28? Both of those were fantastic. Summer Hikaru Died was great. Orb on the Movements of the Earth was probably my favourite anime of last year, so I'm hoping to see that somewhere. I didn't watch the Demon Slayer movie, so I can't really comment on that. I imagine that's going to be up for a few nominations here, so I can't give my opinion because still yet to see that after all this time. ReZero, of course. Too many to mention. Apothecary Diaries. There was a lot of great anime last year. Apocalypse Hotel as an anime original. But yeah, we'll just get into it and see what we got in each of them. As usual, let me know what you guys would have picked in the comment section, and let me know what you guys' thoughts overall on the categories this year. Leave a like on the video if you guys do enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. So we've got a lot of categories here, some of which I can't comment on, like the voice artist performance in English, for example. But where shall we start? Should we go backwards? I'm not sure if it will like just send us to the finish line. So if I click next, will that just send me back to the start? I guess I'll vote first. But yeah, this is one I cannot vote on, so I will have to skip this one. It doesn't look like there is an option to skip, unfortunately. So previous. Okay, there we go. So we could just go previous. Okay, nice. Okay, so best voice artist for the Japanese, and their roles are not listed. So I guess I'll just have to guess. That's handy, isn't it? You haven't told us which voice actor for which role. So I know for a fact this is Mao Mao right here. For the Apothecary Diaries, we've got Chiaki Kobayashi in Summertime. What's called Summertime Rendering. The Summer Hikaru Died. For which role? I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess Hikaru, but yeah. We've got Daiki Yamashita, who I'm just gonna assume is Deku. Kikunosuke Toya. I'm gonna assume that's Denji. Mayumi Tanaka, and I'm going to assume that's Luffy from One Piece. And then Reina Ueda, who I'm going to assume is Reze from the Chainsaw Man movie. So apologies if I've got any of those roles wrong. For my vote on this, I really can't tell you, to be honest. This is not a category I've thought an awful lot about. I do think, if that is Reze, I do think she was really good, especially the kind of switch of tones she had throughout the movie. I love Mao Mao as a character, and her voice actress is fantastic as well. Although yeah, this is a tough one. This, of course, Luffy's always a classic, but I can't really vote for that considering I haven't watched any of the recent series. For about 500 600 episodes behind, so yeah. Can't vote for that. I'm gonna go ahead and vote for Reina Ueda just because that's the one that's sticking out to me. Oh, we have got the characters up here when you click on them. Nice. So that isn't Hikaru, that is actually Yoshiki. Interesting. Izuku, Denji, Luffy. Yeah, okay. So I was mostly right, apart from this. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Reina Ueda. Nice. And unfortunately, it will send me back every time. So annoyingly, I guess I will just start with Anime of the Year, which is the biggest one. So let's see what we got as our candidates for this. And already, missing a few of my favourites. Chainsaw Man Reze Arc not nominated. The Demon Slayer movie not nominated, which again I haven't watched, so I can't comment on too much on, but that's surprising. No ReZero, no Orb. Okay, honestly, not the strongest batch for me here. Dan season 2 was okay. I preferred season 1 personally, and I think this was quite middling in my tier list. Gachakuta I liked, but to be nominated for Anime of the Year, I would not expect. My Hero Academia final season was really good. A lot of people really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it. But again, I'm not sure I put it up with my like top 10 of the year or anything. Takabe's Original Sin I loved, so that one is fine with me. Apothecary Diaries I also a little bit surprised at. I know it's a very loved series and I love it, but I also that wouldn't hit my kind of top 5 either, to be honest. So yeah, and then we got The Summer Hikaru Died, which was in my top 5 anime of the year, I think. But yeah, interesting selections. Not surprising, pretty mainstream as expected. Like I said, they do like advertising their very mainstream big anime on Crunchyroll. So Dan and My Hero Academia, not awfully surprising, but I guess we did mix up a little bit this year. We actually got 2 or 3 anime that I really enjoyed, as well as My Hero Academia, of course, that I did enjoy. Gachakuta as well, I did like, but yeah, I wouldn't categorize it as like a masterpiece or anything. I think for what I'm going to pick here, honestly, not the worst choices. I think for my choice here, I'm probably going to. I'm struggling between Summer Hikaru Died and Takabe's Original Sin. I think I might just give it to Takabe's Original Sin, ever so slightly. See, the thing is with this, my bias says Summer Hikaru Died because that was vibe feeding overall, probably my favourite out of the list here. However, I've got to give it to Takabe's Original Sin. In those 6 episodes, it managed to achieve a lot, and it was like every episode was banger after banger after banger. Like the style as well was really cool. So, like I said, my heart kind of says Summer Hikaru Died, but I think I'm going to go with my head and say Takabe's Original Sin in this instance. I think I'm going to do it before I regret. So yeah, Takabe's Original Sin. Next up, Film of the Year. Okay, so that's why we've separated it. Okay. Oh, we've got some big ones here. Most of which I have not seen. So we've got the 100 Meters movie. We've got the Chainsaw Man movie Reze Arc. Demon Slayer The Infinity Castle Part 1. Mononoke, which I've been wanting to watch that series for a while, and I will at some point on my channel. Scarlet, which I also have not seen, alongside the Rose of Versailles. So yeah, 4 of those I have not seen, so it is just between Chainsaw Man and 100 Meters, and I think this one, it's pretty quick that I'm going to choose Chainsaw Man. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adored 100 Meters. That was also in my top 5/top 10 anime of the year last year. That was absolutely incredible. But yeah, the Chainsaw Man movie was absolutely amazing. So again, I know I picked quite quickly there, but that is quite the incredibly tough choice between these 2. I could see a year from now me maybe like changing my opinion on that. But yeah, we'll continue to Best Continuing Series. Oh, I'm not a massive fan of this category. So we've got Dan Season 2, which was worse than Season 1, I thought. Kaiju number 8, Season 2, which was much worse than Season 1, I thought. My Hero Academia, which is great. Again, the last 3 or so seasons of My Hero Academia are all great. One Piece, which I can't comment on. We've then got Solo Leveling Season 2, which was also worse than part 1 / Season 1. And you guys know how I feel about Solo Leveling. It's great production, great animation, but I really couldn't care less about the characters or the story, which are 2 of the biggest things in a show for me. So not a massive fan of seeing that here, but yeah, again, I do understand the amount of popularity it does have and fans and such, so not a surprise to see that here, but quality wise a little bit surprising. And then we've got Spy Family Season 3, which I also did not watch. So pretty simple for me, as I mean, I like Dan to Dan Season 2, but the rest of these, not well, I haven't seen the recent episodes of One Piece or Spy Family, so I can't comment, but wasn't a massive fan of Kaiju Number 8 or Solo Leveling Season 2, to be honest, so pretty simple vote for My Hero Academia here for me. As we move on to the best new series, and this is not anime original, this is just new series, which we have Clever Tess, which I have not watched, then got Gachi Akuta, Sakamoto Days, Takapi's Original Sin, The Fragrant Flower Blossoms with Dignity, and The Summer Hikaru Died. So yet again, I think I just probably have to go Takapi's Original Sin. I really enjoyed Sakamoto Days more than most, so it's a bit tough leaving that out. I hope I get to vote for that maybe in the song category, because I love the soundtrack of that series. But yeah, Sakamoto Days I really enjoyed. I wasn't too big on Fragrant Flower Blossoms with Dignity, but it was okay. To see it nominated as best new series is a little surprising, but it did get quite a lot of popularity and quite high ratings, I remember, when it was airing, so not a massive surprise, but not one of my favourites, to be honest. So yeah, I'm just going to go Takapi's Original Sin again, closely followed by Summer Hikaru Died, and that closely followed by Sakamoto Days. Honestly, I thought that series was really fun. As we then go to, did I skip a category there? No, I didn't. Good. As we move on to Best Original Anime. Okay, so we've got some interesting ones here. I can only say I've only finished one of these anime. That being Apocalypse Hotel. They've got Digimon Beat Break, which I haven't checked out, but I'm a massive Digimon fan. And I was going to watch this until I found out I think it was going to be airing about 3 AM UK time or something along those lines. So, and my Sundays were already incredibly busy last season, so I wasn't actually able to pick this up. But this is something that's on my plan to watch this. Then got Lazarus, which I ended up dropping after 3 episodes because I just didn't like it. I appreciated the style. I thought it was cool. The choreography, of course, with the fights, which there wasn't all too many of, was nice. But yeah, the story I wasn't a massive fan of. The characters even more so. I just thought were quite bland. And yeah, I just couldn't get on board with Lazarus, unfortunately. Then got Mobile Suit Gundam, which I haven't watched. I haven't watched any Gundam, so apologies. We then have Moonrise, which I did plan on watching as well, but I didn't end up starting it. I can't remember why, but I hadn't checked that one out as well. And then we got Zenshu, which I actually dropped after the first episode, which I actually regret a little bit because I did hear some good things about it afterwards, but it just kind of pulled a bit of a bait and switch on what my conceived notions of what it was going to be anyway. I thought it was going to be about a mangaka and their kind of story, and it just kind of turned into an isekai, a pretty generic average isekai from what I remember in that first episode. But as I said, I actually heard pretty good things after that, so maybe I should give it another try. But as I said, I can't really comment too much on it. So the only one I've actually watched here is Apocalypse Hotel, which I absolutely adored. It was one of my favourite anime original projects in a long time in general, to be honest, and one of the best I've watched on the channel for sure. If you guys haven't watched this, I definitely recommend checking it out because it was an absolute blast. So many genres, so many kind of lovable characters, interesting stories. It goes from like murder mystery to sci-fi to animal hijinks, funeral, like Day of the Dead craziness. It goes all sorts of places. So yeah, I definitely recommend it, and that will certainly get my vote. As we move on to the best animation, we have Dan Season 2, Gachi Akuta, My Hero Academia the final season, which is kind of surprising. I think the animation in My Hero Academia was certainly better these last 2 seasons, but it's even so still kind of surprising to see that here. One Piece, which again I can't comment on, Solo Leveling Season 2, and Takapi's Original Sin. Now, if we're just going the best like quality animation, I think Solo Leveling probably wins this quite easily. However, I'm not going to be voting for Solo Leveling, partly due to a bias, of course, because I'm not a fan of the series, but I'm going to give it to Takapi's Original Sin. It didn't have any crazy action sequences or fast moving like parts, but the style of this, and when it did show kind of faster moments of animation, it was fantastic. But purely mostly for the style of the animation, I think I'm going to be voting for Takapi's Original Sin there. And I think I barely watched anything from that studio, so props to them. But yeah, could have easily been Solo Leveling as well there, to be fair. If I enjoyed the story more, that bias probably would have been taken away and might have ended up voting for that. As we move on to Best Character Design, where we've got Dan Season 2, Gachi Akuta, My Dress Up Darling Season 2, which I have not seen, so apologies, One Piece, Takapi's Original Sin, and the Apothecary Diaries. Now, this is a hard category. To be honest, I don't remember too many standout new character designs Dan Season 2 brought in. I do think the ones from Season 1 were pretty amazing design-wise. But I struggle to think of many that compete with them from Season 2, actually. Gachi Akuta had some great character designs, a variety of them as well. That's another show that is very stylistic, so that's certainly going to be in contention. Takapi's Original Sin, I literally just spoke about with the style. I wouldn't say the characters' designs stand out an awful amount themselves. I think it's just the animation style in general about the show kind of stands out. So I'm not sure that's quite up for contention here. And then we got the Apothecary Diaries Season 2, which also had some amazing character designs. And might just be my winner here, honestly. It's really tough, actually, between Gachi Akuta and Apothecary Diaries. Just because, again, the array of character designs and such we got in Gachi Akuta was crazy. I especially liked the Kaiju girl. I think her design was really cool. I mean, look at them all here. But I think I'm going to give this one to Apothecary Diaries. Because of the period nature of it, the extravagance of it. I think it really shone in that area during like the opening episodes of Season 2 with the whole ghostly dance where they like burned people's like ashes or something in the water. I kind of forget the details, but I remember there being some beautiful kind of like dance sequences and such towards the start of the season, which the character's kind of beauty really stood out. So yeah, Apothecary Diaries Season 2 for character design. As we then go to Best Director, which is always a hard category for me because I'm pretty familiar with like what movie directors do, but I'm not actually too informed about the exact job of like an anime director. So I'm probably just going to go on which anime I like the most. That's probably what's going to happen. Maybe I'm going to go based off like interesting shots, different styles, uniqueness to camera work and such. Again, I don't really know. So in that regard, it probably is. We're seeing a lot of the same anime pop up as we did see last year. I'll announce the categories first, of course. Apothecary Diaries, Dan Season 2, Gachi Akuta, My Hero Academia final season, Summer Hikaru Died, and Takabi's Original Sin. As I literally just said, a lot of repeating anime coming up for each category, which I think makes sense. If these anime are so good to be voted for like best anime of the year and such, they're probably going to be voted in other categories. But as with what I said in the intro, I would like to see a bit more variety in some of these categories. Sorry, because I do think there probably were shows that stood out a bit more in this regard, but than some of these nominations anyway. But yeah, I'm probably just gonna go Takapi's Original Sin again, because that's the safe pick. Because again, I'm not 100% certain what I'm voting for here, but like I said, the style and nature of the show is really interesting. So yeah, just gonna go Takapi's Original Sin, which I didn't think I'd be voting for as much as I am this year, but a few of my favourites nowhere to be seen. Still no orb on the movements of the earth, which is crazy, especially considering not just my love of it, but the general public's adoption of that anime. I thought was incredible. Just became so popular, so that's quite surprising. As we I guess we'll move on to best background art, which is another tough category because in some cases you can, but can you remember a lot of the background art of all of these shows off the top of your head that came out almost a year ago? So that's a bit of a struggle without like seeing it. And they're just going to show the nice if they gave us some examples or something. But yeah, we've got City the Animation for its first nomination here. Dan Season 2, Gachi Akuta, Kowloon Generic Romance for its first nomination as well. The Apothecary Diary Season 2 and the Summer Hikaru Died. Now forgive me, but I don't actually remember the background standing out too much in Summer Hikaru Died. Like the setting was really cool, but I don't specifically remember the background standing out about this show, to be honest with you. I feel like shows like Apothecary Diaries, I do remember specific instances of like the background and the scenic scenes looking phenomenal. City the Animation as well was incredible on a just to look at as a spectacle. Kowloon Generic Romance is another one which I don't remember the background standing out too much. Of course, the setting of it in Kowloon, China was really interesting, but again, I don't remember being like mystified or kind of seeing anything majorly beautiful in regards to scenery. Nor in Gachi Akuta, considering it is a shithole. I'm kind of surprised this is here. Don't get me wrong, they looked good for what it is, but like it's a trash heap. Like 90% of the show is set in a trash heap. So I'm not sure what backgrounds they're asking me to be impressed with there. Perhaps they go to this like city place in one arc where there's like loads of graffiti and stuff that looks good. But other than that, I'm looking at trash. So what exactly is this nomination? I'm not sure. Again, not to say that it's not well drawn or anything, but it's why would that stand out? I don't know. Dan, which always has some really nice animation and style, but yeah, again, I don't remember like the scenic kind of scenes or background standing out. I remember like focusing on the action, but with a show like Apothecary Diaries and City the Animation, I actually do kind of remember like seeing how beautiful like the backgrounds and scenes were. So definitely between City the Animation and the Apothecary Diaries, and I think I'm going to go City the Animation on this one. Just because of the uniqueness Kyoto Animation brings to it. I remember, I think is it the first episode when we first kind of enter the city and it kind of pans in on it, just being like wowed at how beautiful it all looked. Like just so much. It's almost like a Where's Wally page of just like looking around and seeing stuff. So yeah, City the Animation gets my vote on that one. Weird nominations there. Well, one weird nomination I'd say. As I then got Best Romance. I'm not sure what my favourite romance was from last year. It wasn't any of these, I'll tell you that. It was not one of these. Dan I guess. Okay, so the categories got for this are the nominations, shall I say, are Blue Box, Dan Season 2, Honey Lemon Soda, My Dress Up Darling Season 2, which I haven't seen. I have neither seen Ranma Half Season 2, and then The Fragrant Flower Blossoms with Dignity. Yikes. That is a rough category. I imagine if I watched either of these two, one of these two would win. But I haven't. Wow. Is this really going to Honey Lemon Soda? I never thought I'd be voting Honey Lemon Soda as my favourite romance of the year. I mean, it was sweet, but it was just like very average. And I'm a bit of a sucker sometimes for like your average romance anime. Like sometimes they can be really charming. But this didn't even like hit me that hard in that regard. Like I know it's mid, but it's really charming. This was just like it's mid and it's kind of fun. There was a few episodes that were extremely fast paced and directed quite horribly in my opinion. And yeah, then we got Blue Box, which I know a lot of people love. Again, unpopular opinion. I thought it was an absolute mess myself. Really awesome production. Love the opening and ending. But I ended up dropping it halfway through because one, this fight between girls, love triangle stuff that it's just so one note and so expected. You know what's going to happen. So what's the point of spending so long pretending that the main character is going to do anything but get with the main love interest? Like it really felt pointless. And two, I thought it done a really bad job at mixing sports anime with romance. The sports element was pretty much non-existent through this show, yet they spent quite a bit of time on it. But it really didn't work as a great kind of mechanism to amplify the romance. And yeah, I was not a massive fan of this show. I thought it was really lackluster in regards to characters and story, especially. I did quite like Hina. I think it is. Is it Hina? This girl on the right. I did quite like her character, but as I said, it's just a shame because you knew where it was going to go right from the get go. So that's disappointing for me. But I know it is highly rated and highly regarded, so probably going to get flamed for that opinion. And yeah, fragrant. I mean, I'm going to vote for Fragrant Flower Blossoms Blooms with Dignity. Wasn't my favourite romance anime that came out last year at all. It did have some great writing for a few episodes. I remember specifically the episode with Rentaro, with Rintaro's mum. I really enjoyed that look at her kind of adapting herself to her son. I thought that was really cool. Probably my standout episode of that season. But I just wasn't a major fan of, I call it shine grifting, sparkle grifting, where they just show us a shot of the main female love interest with loads of sparkles around them and get us to feel something that way instead of like narratively giving us something to feel good about. They just rather show us a shiny picture of the main character and expect me to go, oh, how cute. And I really didn't like that about the show. However, I like that kind of stuff when we actually know more about the main character and we like that fan service, that kind of stuff starts paying off. They just went straight with that stuff like right from the get-go, and she did get quite a bit of characterization, and I did like how their relationship kind of developed a little bit throughout the season, but it wasn't really well done, I wouldn't say. I think as I said, like the mum, her friend, the I forget her name. What's her name? I forget, but her friend was also one of the standout characters. So I actually think the side character writing is really good for the show. And as I mentioned with the mum, I think Rintaro is pretty decently written as well, but I'm definitely not as big on the show as everyone else is, as you can tell. But yeah, what are I mean, I'd no idea what Dan Dan's doing here. There is romance in this show, but can you call this a romance anime? I would almost feel a bit bad for. Can you imagine being like the creator of one of these other shows that gets left out, but Dan gets voted in your category? Like, is that not crazy? Again, I get that there was quite a bit of focus on the romance this season, but I'm not sure how to feel about that. But yeah, we'll go to Fragrant Flower. Sorry, this has probably been the category I spoke the longest about, but it's such a weird one. Like, did you ever expect Honey Lemon Soda to get a nomination for anything? This is one of those anime. It just like it comes and it goes. If you know what I'm saying, and you never hear of it again. So that's unexpected. But I'm not sure what's more unexpected: Dan Dan or Honey Lemon Soda. I'm going to vote for Fragrant Flower, and that is probably going to be the winner here. That or Blue Box, because those two are definitely the most popular romances that I encountered last year. As we then move on to Best Comedy. So is Down to Down Season 2 just going to be in every one of these categories? It definitely fits more in line with this one. But yeah, Best Comedy. We've got City the Animation, Down to Down Season 2, My Dress Up Darling Season 2, which again I haven't seen, nor have I seen Ranma Half, and I haven't seen Season 3 of Spy Family. As we finish off with Witch Watch, which was a fun show, but not majorly big on it. I'm not a major fan of the author of this work. I mean, I watched this and I've watched Sket Dance, and they're both middling. About like a 40-30% hit rate on the comedy, honestly, maybe even less. So I wouldn't say I'm a major fan of either of his works. I think the opening, honestly, is probably the best thing about this show. So that's definitely not getting the vote. So for me, it's between Down to Down Season 2 and City the Animation. And I think I've got to give it to City the Animation. In regards of like pure comedy, I think this had some fantastic episodes. Although it's actually a bit harder than I think, because Down to Down Season 2 did have some pretty big laughs as well. I think I'll give it the City just because again the different kind of nature of it. But that is a close one right there, actually. That is a close one. Okay, so just about halfway through, as we move on to Best Action, where we've got Down to Down yet again. They really love Crunchyroll love their Down to Down, if you guys didn't know. We've got Gachi Akuta, Kaju number 8, My Hero Academia the final season, One Piece, and Solo Leveling Season 2. So what I'm going to take this is because we had a separate category for Best Animation. This is just going to be the best action show. So not the best action in your show, but the best show that is an action show. And in that regard, we can already I haven't watched One Piece, so we can count out, but we can count out Kaiju number 8 and Solo Leveling, as we are left with again another pretty simple choice for me with My Hero Academia the final season. I think if that wasn't here, it'd actually be very difficult to choose between Down to Down and Gachi Akuta, but yeah, I think we'll go My Hero Academia. I'm going to try not to talk about the shows I've already talked about quite a lot. As we move on to Best Isekai, which I didn't watch many of last year, actually. I had not watched Campfire Cooking in Another World. I had not watched Disney Twisted Wonderland. I have not watched From Bureaucrat to Villainess. And as I said, I only watched one episode of Zenshu. So the only nominees for me for this category are Konosuba Season 3 and ReZero Season 3. And this is just quite an easy ReZero for me. I I honestly think season 3 of Konosuba wasn't nearly as good as the previous 2 seasons. I'm not sure if that's just me maturing a little bit, but a lot of the humor felt. I didn't laugh nearly as much as I did in previous seasons. Again, if that's me or the show, I'm not sure, but yeah, season 3 of ReZero for me, which was also probably one of the weaker ReZero seasons for me, but still really good season, so not saying an awful lot by saying that. Yeah, pretty simple vote there. As we move on to drama, which you could probably categorize almost all anime as, and we've finally got a nomination for Orb. So nominees are Anne Shirley, which I have not watched. We've then got Blue Box, Orb on the Movements of the Earth, Takapi's Original Sin, the Apothecary Diaries, and the Summer Hikaru Died. And yeah, it's going to my anime of the year for last year on Orb on the Movements of the Earth. I thought this was absolutely incredible. Right from the first 3 episodes, you're like absolutely sucked into the story and characters, and then yeah, I don't really need to say much about the series. I think everybody that watched it knows how incredible it is. But some really good anime voted for this category. Apothecary Diaries, Takapi's Original Sin, Summer Hikaru Died, all in my top 10 anime I watched last year, or in and around. So yeah, love to see that, honestly. And Orb will be getting my vote. Let's move on to Slice of Life with Anne Shirley, My Dress Up Darling Season 2, and Spy Family yet again, which I can't comment on. And then we've got Blue Box, City the Animation, and Fragrant Flower Blossoms with Dignity. And I'll just be voting City the Animation on this one. I thought, as an actual slice of life, it's probably the most slice of life out of Blue Box and Fragrant Flower Blossoms with Dignity. It's quite a bit of comedy in the show, but it actually is just exactly that. It is a slice of like these characters' lives. And there being so many characters and their stories being so different and so creative. Some of the most creative anime episodes I've seen in general came from this show. So yeah, that is quite easily and definitely getting the vote for Best Slice of Life. And then we move on to Best Main Character. And the nominees are Izuku Midoriya, Mao from My Hero, Mao Mao from the Apothecary Diaries, Momo from Dan Da Dan, Okarun from Dan Da Dan, Rudo from Gachiakuta, and Sung Jinwoo from Solo Leveling. So yet again, I like Dan Da Dan, but it is almost like I might get some flack for this, but does this not feel like a bit of like an industry plant is maybe a strong wording for it? But it feels like, I mean, is this not the literal definition of industry plant? It feels like it's in every category possible, and they try and shove as much as they can of this in your face. Like, yeah, at every opportunity they try and like promote this and put it everywhere. It's like to have 2 characters to be in this when the amount of shows that released last year, like no character from Orb, no character from Summer Hikaru Died. Like, let's go back a minute. Your anime of the year, we had Gachiakuta, Takapi's Original Sin, Apothecary Diaries, Summer Hikaru Died, and you're telling me that no one from Summer Hikaru Died or what was it? Or Takapi's Original Sin is included in this? I don't get that. I really don't get that. Well, whatever. Now this is quite difficult. I think my favourite character here is Mao Mao. But Deku was pretty awesome during the final season. I think I'm going to go Mao Mao. I think it's just as simple as she's my favourite character here, so I will be voting for her. And we've got Best Supporting Character. What is this, bro? As we yet again have two Dan characters here. Two. The way I'm talking, you think I'd hate this? Like, I hate this show. I can understand if you think I hate Dan the way I'm talking, but believe me, I don't. I do like Dan. It's just, it really feels industry plant when you're doing this for a show. But yeah, the nominees are Engine from Gachiakuta, Jin from Dan, Turbo Granny from Dan. Like, Turbo Granny, best supporting character out of hundreds of anime that came out last year. Are you taking the mick? She wasn't. I don't remember her being a major player or majorly involved in much last season. Like, she's always there. Don't get me wrong, she's always there. But like, story wise, as a character, did she progress much? No. Was she involved too much in the story? Like, she was there, but she actually like actively involved a lot? No. I don't. I struggle with that one. Got no idea why she's nominated. Maybe I'm forgetting her involvement, but that seems crazy. We then got Jinshi from Apothecary Diaries, as well as Lolan / Shisui from Apothecary Diaries. So we've got two for Apothecary Diaries as well, which yeah, again, I think is you guys know I love my Apothecary Diaries, but also questionable. I don't know why there's not a rule to just have one show per category. That feels like it'd be much more fair, but obviously Lolan was a massive part of second season, as well as Jinshi, so I mean, that one's a bit more understandable because both the characters were massive parts of the season. They had personal storylines and growth and focus going on, whereas Turbo Granny just there, right? And then we got Katsuki Bakugo from My Hero Academia, which is probably going to be a popular choice considering his involvement in the final season. I think I will be going with one of the Apothecary Diaries characters here. It's just I'm not really sure which one. I'm leaning towards Lolan, and I think I'm going to go with Lolan because she was probably the biggest focus out of any of these characters. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Lolan here. I loved her kind of storyline and involvement in the second season. As we move on to Must Protect at All Costs character. So this is essentially just like the cutest character. And the nominees are Anya Forger, and I have seen season 1 and 2 of, or at least season 1 of Spy Family, so I guess I can vote for this. We've got Izuku, Wagari from Fragrant Flower, Mao Mao from Apothecary Diaries, Suika from Dr. Stone, and Takapi from Takapi's Original Sin. So I have seen all of these, thankfully. See, I think Wagari's probably going to win this, but my vote is going to be for Mao Mao, I think, because she is my favourite character here. Not really too much discussion to have on that one. And getting close to the end, we've then got Best Anime Song. Oh, we've got a couple here from Chainsaw Man. Like I said earlier, I feel like, again, I love Chainsaw Man, the Reze arc, but I'd like to see a different show nominated. Like just one entry, I think would be fair. But yeah, we've got In Bloom from the Apothecary Diaries. We then got Iris Out from the Chainsaw Man Reze arc. It does have the artist here on the left, which is a little handy. We then got Jane Doe from Kenshi Inozu, as well as Hikaru Utada. On the Way by Aina the End for Dan. Reawake by Lisa, featuring Felix of the Stray Kids, and that's for solo leveling. And then Watch Me by Yaosobi for Witch Watch, which, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, was definitely the best part of Witch Watch, I thought. The visuals are phenomenal, but the song was great as well. For me, the song I listen to the most here is I Know the End, On the Way. And I think that's probably what's going to get my vote. Now, it would be between Iris Out and On the Way. But I'm just going to go off the one I listen to the most, and that is definitely the Dan to Dan opening for Season 2, which personally I thought was better than Season 1's opening, but yeah. I know Season 1's opening was incredibly popular. And then we go on to Best Overall Score. And, okay, so the nominations for this are Chainsaw Man, sorry, Dan to Dan Season, just thinking for a second there. Dan to Dan Season 2. I think this is only the second category the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 1 movie is involved in. Gachiakuta, Solo Leveling Season 2, and the Apothecary Diaries. Now this is really tough. This one is really tough. So I'm going to count out Solo Leveling, Apothecary Diaries, and Demon Slayer. And probably Gachiakuta as well, although I did like the soundtrack. So this one is between Dan to Dan and Chainsaw Man. As an overall score, oh boy, this one is really tough. This one is really tough. Again, if I'm just to go off the OST that I listen to the most, the opening, ending, as well as the actual songs in the series, it would be Dan to Dan. Which is, it's tough because the Reze arc is like the soundtrack through the movie is incredible, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with Dan to Dan Season 2 because, as I said, I like not just the opening and ending, but like the actual songs and music used just in between scenes. I definitely listen to Dan to Dan Season 2 the most out of any of these shows, so that will be getting my vote yet again. As we go on to Best Opening, we've got Hugs from Gachiakuta. I forget, is that the first one or the second one? Don't really know. We've got Mirage from Creepy Nuts for Call of the Night, which is its first nomination. On the Way by I Know the End for Dan to Dan Season 2. Reawaker again from Lisa for Solo Leveling Season 2, as well as Felix and the Stray Kids. The Revo from Porno Graffiti for My Hero Academia the final season. And then yet again Watch Me from Yaosobi for Witch Watch. So what was the category a minute ago? Best Anime Song. Okay, I mean they're almost essentially the same category. There's three of the same songs listed here, but I mean this is a bit tougher. I don't know if tougher is the right word, because but this wasn't involved last time, and I'm a big fan of these, and I've listened to this song a lot, but I think yet again I probably would just go I Know the End. But big fan of the Revo from My Hero Academia. As we move on to my second to last category here, I think it might be the last category because I'm not going to be, yeah, this is going to be the final category for today. So thank you guys if you did make it this far. As we've got Actor from Spy Family Season 3, which I have not watched or listened to. Beautiful Colors from One Republic for Kaiju number 8 Season 2. Douka Shitaru from Words for Dan to Dan Season 2. I from Bump of Chicken for My Hero Academia the final season. Kawaii Kawaii from Pika for My Dress Up Darling Season 2, which I have not seen or listened to. And then Unapex from TK from Ling Tosai Sigure from the Solo Leveling Season 2. So this one I don't really have an opinion on, to be honest. I don't recognise any of these songs just off their names, and that means I don't listen to any of these songs. So honestly, don't take this for my opinion or anything, but I'm just gonna vote My Hero Academia because I like Bump of Chicken. I don't even specifically remember this song all that much. I could probably say 10 or 20 other Bump of Chicken songs I actually listen to and prefer, but yeah, that is me done. I guess I'll just vote some random English voice actor and call it a day. We'll give it to Summer Hikari because I don't think I voted for that at all during this show. And that is me done. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'm not sure if there's going to be like an overall kind of... Is there like a finished kind of page or something, or doesn't look like it? Yeah, I guess that's just me. So yeah, again, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what some of your guys' picks would be here. Again, not too much variety. Orb, especially a big omission from a lot of categories, was only involved in the drama category, I believe, which is crazy. It's crazy work, but it was my anime of the year, so I'm always going to think that. But I guess while we're at the end here, if you guys did want to stick around, I guess we could look at some big omissions that they might have left out. Anime released from 2025, because I know for a fact they're missing out some big ones here. I just can't think of them off the top of my head. Fuck the AI results. We're going to IMDb of all places. What are some ones off the top of my head? I mean, unfortunately, the Apocalypse Hotel wasn't nominated for any other categories other than original anime anyway, which was a massive shame. Okay, so what are some big ones? Dr. Stone was only nominated for one award, and I'm pretty sure that was for Must Protect Character, which is a kind of bullshit category. So Sakamoto Days was only nominated for one category. That one is a bit more understandable because the public perception of that was quite mixed, although I'm a very big fan. I'm listening to Vaundy right now, and I absolutely love Vaundy. Fate, although that's been going on for like 2 years. It looks like. Windbreaker didn't have any nominations. To Be Hero X, that's a big one. I ended up dropping this series, but I did really enjoy, especially the opening few arcs. It did kind of feel quite samey as it went on, like it was quite predictable. But that's a big omission, because as you can see here by the rating, a lot of people really liked To Be Hero X. But perhaps that is not included because it is Chinese, maybe. Anything else missing? Grand Blue Dreaming, I guess, which I enjoyed, but I know it's not the greatest production ever or anything. To Your Eternity. Not too many omissions. Not anything like major crazy. I think the biggest omission for me would certainly be Orb on the Movements of the Earth. But we're going to my anime list because that's probably the best place to be able to see the anime that came out during the years. It's actually got a bit of a database so we can go back to previous seasons. So yeah, full 2025, for example, Fire Force got no nominations. One Punch Man didn't get any nominations, as to surprise everybody. Sander didn't get any. Not massively surprising. Oh, that's one that's a bit of a shame. This Monster Wants to Eat Me, which I really enjoyed, didn't get a single nomination. Which, yeah, again, is not massively surprising. Yano-kun, which may very well have won my romance of the year if it was in that category. Didn't get a nomination. Kingdom season 6, which I have never watched a single episode of Kingdom, but you can see here the rating. The ratings are always incredible for this series, so that's not massively surprising because it's not the most popular thing ever, but considering how much the fan base enjoys it, I guess is a bit surprising. Again, Call of the Night and Dr. Stone only got one nomination each for pretty unsubstantial categories. Silent Witch didn't get a single nomination for anything. Oh yeah, There's No Freaking Way I'll Be Your Lover didn't get a single nomination for anything either, which is a shame. That's about it for summer. Windbreaker, I think I said earlier, didn't get a single nomination. This was a pretty dire season, this wasn't it? Fire Apocalypse Hotel. Show Shimon series didn't get a single nomination. That was also a really great show that came out last year. But yeah, again, not massively popular. So if it ain't massively popular, you know Crunchyroll ain't including it. If it doesn't get them subscriptions, they ain't including it. 100 Girlfriends didn't get a single nomination. Oh, a lot of people really enjoyed this. My Happy Marriage didn't get a single nomination. I know that's quite a popular show. So yeah, quite a bit left off. Not any medalists. Not a single. Oh wow, not a single nomination for medalist either. That's crazy. That is both really popular and incredibly high rated. Wow. So yeah, some quite big omissions actually when we do look more into it. Probably even more that I'm not even covering right here. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Let me know any omissions you guys are mad about or that you would have loved to see here. As I said, the big one for me is I would have loved to see more Orb in many of these categories. Anime of the Year, Best New Series, Best Character Design, Best Direction, Best action. Not much action, but could have been in Best Action, I guess, if you want. It was in Best Drama, of course, but Best Main Character. You could have had a few characters in the Best Main Character category, honestly. Best Supporting Characters, Best Anime Song, Best Score, Best Opening, Best Ending, Best Voice Performance. Like, this could have been in at least 10 categories, so that's quite a big shame for me personally. But yeah, I'll stop yapping. Let me know what you guys thought about the video overall in the comments. As I said earlier, let me know what you guys' votes are as well. Maybe if it's easier for you guys, you can tweet them over to me. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with any of my weekly reactions though. Just started out the new season, so hopefully you guys can join me with quite a few big anime coming out. And yeah, thank you guys very much for watching.